Gemini. Okay, I'm honestly, I feel like a 3-year-old that's trying to keep myself awake, and so I'm like really hyper. Also because I've been drinking a lot of coffee, but you know how when a 3-year-old's about to just like fall on their face because they're so tired that they actually get super hyper. I think that's me right now. It's my tired face. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and use the universe cards today for the air sign read. I get 3 from here, 3 from my Amun Ra deck, and then 3 from the animal deities to see what they've got to say as well, because you can't forget about the animals. It's not nice. Okay, so let's get 3. Okay, automatically I'm feeling kind of anxious. I don't know where that came from, and the whole, like, half the deck just flipped out of my hand. These are really big cards, and I've been noticing that, but I figured I would throw them at some point during the read, and yours is the first one that I just almost threw the deck. So I don't know, you guys might be feeling a little bit on edge right now. Whatever is agitating you. Oh, binary systems and no relationship. Okay, that might be what it is. Let's see what else comes out, and then I'll help interpret what I perceive. Okay. Oh my gosh. I swear, I've only got 3 cards from this entire freaking deck for all of the air sign reads that I just got. I only used 3 cards out of this entire solar system deck. And I got the same card in the same position for all of the air signs. So I'm going to go ahead and say you should go ahead and watch all the air sign reads, Gemini. You may be feeling a little bit literally linked or agitated or somehow triggered, or just go back and watch those, please, especially if you're feeling on edge or a little bit edgy at the moment. So anyway, relationship in reverse, which is binary systems, is in reverse. What came out with that was nebula star birth and creation in reverse. So you may be feeling like you are being somehow submerged. I don't know why that came up. Maybe you feel like you can't create a relationship with some person, place, thing, or transformation that you wanted to create, and that's really causing you a lot of stress. This is a very rapid, almost a violent change right here. This is going from no creation of a star birth and straight on to a star death immediately afterwards. And I'm not sure, these two right next to each other is a little bit, that's probably why I was feeling like tense in my neck and a lot of anxiety. This, whatever relationship this is, I'm just seeing these two as being clearly these 2 entities. Okay, so I don't know what it is that you feel like you're going around and around and around in a circle, but I feel like you feel like you're on a treadmill, kind of going nowhere really fast is the way, or maybe like on a track. I'm seeing a school track, going around the track many times, but not feeling like you're, like, almost thinking that going around the track would get you further. That may not be the way that things are going for you right now. I'm also just gonna say that because this was the first card out, was the binary systems, and then the transformation card also has the imagery right here is catching me. So there's 2 Pisces Vesica often is a symbol of marriage or union or whatever the case may be, coming together of two people seeing eye to eye. And, you know, obviously fertilization of an egg with a new burst of light or spermatozoid or whatever that you're trying to create here, whatever relationship you're trying to take off on. This for some reason seems like maybe you're having a baby and you're not married, or maybe you're married and you can't have a baby, or something like that. The creation in reverse with this is why I'm talking about children at the moment. I'm just seeing a lot of frustration around that. I want to say, if this does have to do with like sexuality at all, just stop that mess with yourself, because it's not even, we now have actually the third qubit. It is available. And it's a decision. So we've got qubits are pieces of information. So I know that if you're into computer coding, you can know that like there's zeros and there's ones. When you think about the phallic or the, you know, typically it would be like in a traditional tarot deck, it might be something like the wand, the ace of wands, or the ace of pentacles. Those are the two binary systems that we're typically used to looking at. But when you look at the four forces of the universe, and I'm just trying to also tie this back to go look at those other air sign reads as well, because they're very important. It seems important that they all be linked together like a chain link. I'm seeing a chain. If you're looking to break the cycle of your mind, or the cycle of kind of like this, I'm just seeing somebody like almost frantically in one place doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. The third qubit has a lot to do with What the Bleep. The movie What the Bleep is a really good example. You're able to somewhat dictate with your intention and with your mind the way that things work out. So no matter what someone else believes, whether you are homosexual, sapiosexual, heterosexual, metrosexual, there's four right there. So we've got four forces in the universe that you can embody at any point in time. And you get to create your own existence. You get to create the life that you would like to live. And it does not have anything, or it's nobody else's business, and it really has nothing to do with anybody or anything outside of yourself. I think that feeling like you're ending something or not able to achieve a link, a connection in a relationship, is something that can be very frustrating for a lot of people when they're only looking at two of the options or half of the picture. When you look at all four together, you've got four options, and then also this fifth kind of dimension of thinking that could create a new doorway for you. At the moment, it doesn't seem like you're really seeing that. You may be missing this part, there may be some kind of a switcheroo that needs to happen. If that's the case, that's the case. I don't think that you should, resist it too much, because that will give you a headache and make you feel all kinds of frustrated. But let's see what else we can get for you. I'm going to use the Amun-Ra deck. And this may have nothing, if you're not, I don't think nobody cares what Sally and Sue do, okay? But as long as you don't try to make it a Harry, Sally, and Sue, if Harry doesn't want to be involved, or if Sue doesn't want to be involved, or if Sally doesn't want to be involved, then we're good. It's not anyone's business but your own, how you live your life. So I just want to clarify that for you guys. I think also, for some reason, I'm also getting a little bit of third party. That third qubit came to mind, and then transformation popped out at the end again. This is the third reading I've done for air signs, the last one. So I'm just getting a little bit of third party energy. If that is the case for you, I just know that even if you are homosexual or sapiosexual or metrosexual, whatever orientation you are, you have every right to a committed, loving, binary, like two-person person A and B relationship, and you have every right to tell anybody or anything that comes in the way of your relationship to see their way out. So, yeah, I definitely think, these things are important when considering your own self-worth and your own health and well-being in terms of long-term. So, binary system relationship came out with soulmate. So I'm really getting that this could be something seriously bothering you about a loved one, about somebody that you feel very closely tethered to or linked to in some way. Might be feeling a little bit like snappy or like your pinchers are out, Sorry, the creation card came out with nebula star birth and creation in reverse and cleansing. So you might be trying to clear out some space, some mental space, some heart space, some space in your life for a person, place, or thing to come into fruition. And if that's the case, there might be a little bit of friction right now, but the cleansing process is never easy. However, it is important if you're going to have a standard of living or a standard for yourself that is worthwhile. Typically, the things that are worth having are the hardest to achieve. And it's not always easy. Wow. It's not always easy to kind of identify how to drop the shadow self or drop the mask off of whatever is hindering you or troubling you about this, creation process being renewed or re-cleansed or revamped, if you will. But this is, without looking at the shadow, with the shadow in reverse, so you're not looking at it, there is going to be even more strife or even more inability to move through the transformation in a way that will end up being productive for you. And it sounds like, given that this is something that clearly has come up in all of the air sign readings, I think that there needs to be obviously some real deep honesty with yourself, and you don't gotta tell anybody, and you don't gotta, like I said, it's a personal process. So if you're able to just be really clear with yourself about which direction you would like to go, then you can figure out how to come about like the different pathways that you might have to do that. And in that way, you might be able to transmute or transform whatever situation you're going through. I'm sorry, Gemini, that sucks. I'm going to go ahead and get you some animal advice or cards. Whoa! Okay, that's a lot. I'm not taking all that, okay? I usually don't reject cards, but that was like a lot of cards that just flew out at me. Just let me get one for binary system relationships without the soulmate, please. Wow. Okay, well, that was 3 exactly that flew out that time, so I'll take it. We got the pelican. We got the butterfly, and then we got the swan. Okay, so pelican came out in reverse. This is the pelican card. And the pelican represents wisdom, focus, self-sacrifice, and nurture. So this, because there's a binary system relationship going on, like a 2-person relationship with a soulmate that seems to be in disarray a little bit right now. What I'm hearing with the pelican is that there might have been a secret part of yourself or a secret aspect that feels full. I'm seeing that half of this card seems really busy. And if I cover half of it, the other half seems pretty barren. You might be feeling like you're a little up top, like the top half of you is not full, maybe you're not stimulated mentally, maybe you're not, there's a moon here. So maybe you're experiencing kind of this mindset of being unable to manifest or unable to take off. All the pelicans swoop for their food. They've got like a huge jugular and they fill it all up full of fish, and then they just drink the whole thing and spit out the water. So yeah, I am just seeing, you know, I don't know also why I'm hearing webbed feet. They've got very wide webbed orange feet, and they make big steps. They've got really big wingspans. And I don't know, they basically, in ancient Egypt, pelicans were depicted on the walls of tombs as protectors. They were also sacred in Judaism, and pelicans particularly digest their food and regurgitate it for their young, embodying the symbolism of nurture. So maybe you're feeling like you're self-sacrificing by regurgitating too much of your own relationship, of your own soul to somebody, some person, some place, something, and that you're feeling a little bit drained, that you're unable to kind of continue pushing through this. Then there's creation, and butterfly came out with cleansing. So this is the butterfly card. I'm just also seeing this as a cocoon all of a sudden. I'm seeing that there's a cocoon that you emerged from, or that you might have transformed, and you're feeling like you can't create anything. Maybe this is an adjustment period, is how I would try to look at it. Maybe instead of looking at it as in a lack of creation, there's simply a look at that. There's this big old red ball. I'm seeing that as now as the red ball here as being catching the butterfly. And this, you know, basically this nebulous star here has just given birth from a cocoon. So I'm strongly seeing that here. That's literally what I'm seeing. Is that, you know, the transformation coming out of the cocoon or being born is the best way that I can consider, you know, coming from a tight space where you're wrapped up and you're completely constricted, and being able to take off from there and be airborne like you are, Gemini, an air sign, then there must be the most strange sensations that go from being a caterpillar to being a butterfly and everything in between, you know? I can't imagine that it's comfortable. So no starbirth. Yeah, I'm hearing starburst right now too. So you might be feeling like someone burst your bubble, or, you know, maybe this, like an explosion of new thoughts has taken off, and you are just not in the mood to be a butterfly today. You're like, can I just go back in the cocoon, or can I just go back to being the caterpillar, please? Because this over here feels weird to be airborne. I feel like you'll get used to it. And I know that sounds a little bit heartless, but honestly, when we're thinking about binary systems and then adding on those other kind of avenues to get somewhere, sometimes you've got to take some different streams than what you thought you were going to take. You know, you've got to be willing to swim upstream for a little while to kind of find your groove or find the knack of things. And I think that's what I'm hearing here, is that the longer you figure out how to flap your wings and glide on the currents of air, that you may become more and more comfortable with yourself and with that feeling of not, you know, having to cling on to a leaf anymore, or being constricted to the point where you feel like you're being suffocated or something like that. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie Cocoon. Go watch it. It's a good movie if you're into sci-fi. But anyway, you know, there's 3 stages for a caterpillar, a chrysalis, and then a butterfly. So that might be something to consider about that 3rd cubit there. Sometimes it's not easy to change, and sometimes, you know, obviously people give birth when they're uncomfortable, they're waddling. Ooh, I am now seeing the pelican waddling, because the stomach is so big or so bulbous. There's a lot of pressure from the baby's cranium coming into your hip area, and I mean, your back hurts, you're grouchy, you feel like you just would do anything to have the baby in your arms instead of pushing on your bladder 24/7. Not necessarily a comfortable moment when you go into labor. A lot of people scream. So anyway, I scream, you scream, we all scream. I scream. Okay. This one right now, let's talk about it. Reversing that shadow, this is the Swan in reverse, okay? when you're talking about a black swan, this woman is black, by the way. I love this card. She's looking out in the distance at a very, very small moon. So it means it's very, very far out there. I mean, if we're talking about depth perception, you know, when it's all the way up here in your face, you can see it. But when it's all the way back here, a little hard to see, kind of like an insect flying through the air, you know. All I'm trying to say is that when you're looking for a goal, when you're looking for something that seems like it's never going to be closer, when you're looking out into the solar system and you're like, I'm never going to be an astronaut. Yeah, you might never be an astronaut. But you know what? If you are an astronaut, there's a lot of training that goes into that. And you've got to drop a lot of weight and and I'm not talking about physical weight. I'm talking about you got to get to work. Like, get to work. Like, stop waiting on things to come to you and go get them instead. Symbolism of a swan is transformation, loss of innocence, and beauty. It says, in Greek mythology, the swan song is the beautiful song sung by the swan just before death. So this is because it came out upside down. It says although the youth attempts to hide the feathers from the maiden, which would allow him to possess her, the swan finds its feathers, assumes its animal form, and leaves the youth. So because this came out in reverse, I'm just saying that, you know, you may be giving up on on some goal that you thought you were going to be able to reach far out. And that's not to say that you got to let it go completely, but it may mean that you're going to get there in a different way. So death in the tarot card, I love Scorpios. They're very comfortable with death. They're very comfortable with their shadow self. And it doesn't always mean death itself. It sometimes just means, you know, sometimes you can feel like you're going to die if you break up with somebody and you're bawling your eyes out forever. And you're like, is this ever going to feel better? Like, ever? Am I ever going to love again? And am I ever going to feel worthy of cherishing myself? Yes, you will. That's the answer. But sometimes it doesn't feel like it. And instead of somebody being like the twinkle in your eye, or, you know, thinking that you may have a life to establish with that person, there may be a transformation in thought that you need to go through. Get back out into the dating world. Get back out into thinking of different ways to engage with people. A new hobby is oftentimes helpful. Being able to finesse a different area in your life or a different subject matter is sometimes very helpful as well. And you never know. I'm also looking at the back of this card. I'm seeing that, you know, sometimes things take a lot longer than what you'd expect. And I think, you know, if you believe in destiny, it doesn't matter if you do or not, but, this swan also has a small moon that is tucked under its chin. Just tucked under its little chin. So I think sometimes we get places, there's also a mountain back here with, like, other birds, like, flying up towards the moon. And so all this is, like, yeah, I wish you could see this card up close. It's really pretty. The mountain is being reflected in the water, and then there's little birds flying up towards this far off moon, you know. And then there's also a bird up close with her that's being, you know, very loyal and staying kind of tucked underneath her plumes, as well as, you know, also protecting its own little secret heart. So I think there's ways that you can reconsider or redefine your own life, your own relationships, your own goals. And I don't think you need to give up on those things, but sometimes you got to put them on the back burner for a little while so that you can take a closer look or, you know, deal with the things that need to be dealt with in order for you to have that full throttle, you know, transformation and a new spark in your eye is what I'm seeing here. So anyway, take off, little birds. Go catch your dinner. Like, go get it. Okay, anyway, that's all I've got for you right now, Gemini. this was kind of a sad reading. I hope that you guys are all good, all right, and I will be back for some more. Next lifetime or whatever. So anyway, puss puss, that means kiss kiss in Swedish. Bye.